and we are delighted to have Professor Mustafa, who is pioneer and an authority in himself, who has launched first ever online course on developing life skills for SWAM platform of Ministry of Human Resource Development, now Ministry of Education, Government of India. We are delighted that Professor Mustafa agreed to our request and he acceded to it and he joined us today. Friends, let me tell you that today morning we were delighted to listen to the practical aspects of blissful life from Mr. Rajbeer Deswal, who is a multi-talented personality, and now we have an authority in the field who is an academician and will talk about the conceptual aspects of life skills. I am so delighted that we have Bharti ji, we have Akshay Sharma, Amar Jadhav, Anamika ji, Anita ji, Annie, Ashish, Ashu Tomar, Ashwin Kachru Sahab, Atul ji, B. Sarla ji, Balraj Singh, C.P. Meghwal, Chef Ritu, Deepak Latwal ji, Devendra Rawat ji. I'm happy to see Dr. Ajay Bhardwaj from Dev Sanskriti University, Hardwar here. My colleague and co-host and additional director of life skills, Dr. Divya Malhan, she would be addressing you soon. Dr. Jasmine, Dr. Subrata, Dr. Naveen Kumar, Dr. Parul, Dr. Richard, Dr. S.K. Patru, Dr. Aarti, Dr. Anup Kumar, and a lot of people whom I'll be naming in between. The number has gone close to 100, and without taking much time, I would like to invite Dr. Divya Malan to give a hearty welcome and a brief introduction to Professor Dr. M.N. Mustafa Sahab. Sir, we are humbled and honored that you are here. Over to Dr. Divya, please.
A very good afternoon to everybody. We are delighted we are back and we are back bang on. Thank you, Dr. Ashish, for the lovely introduction to the participants who are there on board today. In fact, we had less of time interacting with them today, but we'll be doing that as and when we'll be getting time. So it's lovely to see you all here. I'm not able to physically see you, but I can feel your presence. So that is so nice. And we have our eminent speaker amongst us. And Dr. Mustafa, as Dr. Ashish has been telling, that he is a wonderful personality who has been contributing on various platforms. So here I am to tell you a little about him. I hope you're all ready for the session. All smiling faces as we were in the morning. Lovely. So here I begin for Dr. M.N. Mohammaduni alias Mustafa is presently working as Professor, Department of Education, Central University of Kerala, with effect from 9/7/2015. Formerly, he was with the Department of Education, University of Calicut, and also the Director, School of Distance Education, University of Calicut, and formerly Director in charge of UGC ASC, University of Calicut. He did his MSc Zoology and MIT from University of Calicut with university rank and MSc Psychology from Madras University. He has been awarded with PhD in Education from the Department of Education, University of Calicut. He has been working as a teacher educator since 1996 at various prominent institutions in Kerala. His area of research and academic interest includes psychological and sociological perspectives of education, designing projects and research, training on parenting and sustainable development. He is a member of various international and national academic organizations. Dr. Mustafa is a research supervisor in education and guiding students doing for PhD, published several research papers and presented papers in national and international conferences. As a part of the extension, Dr. Mustafa conducts varied training programs for the teachers, parents, and students. From 1995 onwards, he is an inevitable resource person for the various UGC NET coaching programs organized by different governmental and non-governmental organizations. Being a researcher, Dr. Mustafa is seeking avenues for sharing his views on psychological perspectives of education and life. He has developed MOOC programs on life skills for SWAYAM under Ministry of Education, Government of India. Well, nonetheless, I think it is better that we listen to Sir himself, and you will come to know what an eminent speaker he is. He has been working so hard for all the time, and we are blessed that he's with us for this session today. We welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon.
We are delighted to have learned Professor Mustafa with us. Gratitude to you, sir, for joining us. And since we are abided by time, the session is all yours. We look forward to listening to your words of wisdom. The audience is eagerly waiting to listen to you. Sir, let me apprise you that we have audience from 20 different states of India from diverse backgrounds who are here, some professors, some associate professors, some assistant professors, some PhD scholars, some postdoctoral fellows, including some people from administration. We have chief engineer from military engineering services. We have assistant director from ministries and IGNU, and some people from hospitality and tourism. Few managers, general managers, and industry participants are there in this domain. With this, we welcome you once again, and over to you, sir. Namaskar, and let's start our session.
So, most respected Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Dr. Rajbir Singh ji, and beloved and respectful Professor Ashish Dahiya, who is the man behind all these efforts, and the joint deputy directors of this Center for Life Skills and Soft Skills, Maharshi Dayananda University, MDU, Rohtak, and beloved academicians across the country. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this program. In fact, what Madam has just narrated is all the responsibilities during my career, and with God's grace, I could able to discharge the things up to this time in a more or less effective manner. Thank God. And dear friends, without making much introductory comments, I am directly moving to the responsibility which is trusted upon me. So prior to that, please accept greetings on behalf of the Center for Life Skills Education, Central University of Kerala, and on my personal behalf. My mother used to tell me that a tiny bird sitting on a huge tree will be recognized by the people. It is not because, even though the bird is tiny, it is because the tree is very huge. So friends, we are all sitting on a huge tree, tiny birds sitting on a huge tree. Here, a lot of participants who had discharged their responsibility in a very meaningful way. And I do feel that the prime responsibility, see, just 2 minutes, some screen is missing from my part. I don't know.
Please, sir.
Just 2 minutes.
Well, friends, by the time Professor Mustafa joins, let me continue welcoming our member participants who are here: Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Dr. Richa Sharma, Dr. Ruchira Prasad, Dr. Shivani Vashish, Dr. Swati Chauhan. I'm happy to see Dr. Farad here. We welcome you, Dr. Farad. Dr. Nidhi, Dr. Preeti Bura, uh, G. Sandhya ji, Ina Yadav ji, uh, Ipsita Nayal ji, Jagdeep Sharma ji, Jasmeet Kaur ji, and Jyoti ji. Happy to see you here. We'll continue with our conversations more. I think the screen is quite back, and over to Professor Mustafa.
Pardon, maybe I typed L there, Nayak.
1 minute, 1 minute,
I
1
cannot
minute.
rename
Just
myself. I'm trying, but I'm not able to rename myself.
All right, Ipsita ji. I stand corrected. So welcome, Ipsita Nayak ji.
Thank you.
So happy to see Bharti Ajay Moria ji.
Good afternoon, Ashish sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. Saab. We are indeed happy to see you here. Dr. Saurabh ji, Colonel Sirohi Sahab. We are waiting till the time Mustafa Saab joins us back.
Good afternoon, Ashish sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. B. Sarla ji, CP Megwal ji, Chef Ritu ji. So delighted to have you here. Dr. Naveen Kumar, Subrata Nagpal ji, Dr. Sonal Chaube ji, Dr. Aarti, Dr. Anup Kumar, Dr. Harsha Khandelwal, Dr. Nitin Patil. I can see so many familiar names here. Dr. Richa Sharma, Dr. Shivani Vashisht. Delighted to have you all here. So Mustafa Saab is back, so I mute myself and the stage is back to him.
is it okay now? Are you able to?
Yes, sir. It's quite visible and audible. Welcome back, sir.
Yes. So, friends, very, very, very sorry. Yeah. So the prime responsibility, as far as a tiny bird concerned, my mother used to tell me. So therefore, since the tree is very huge, you will be recognized by the people. So my son, what you have to do is you have to nourish and nurture the tree upon which you are resting. So my first request, my appeal to all the academicians across who are attending this program is we have to internalize this spirit, and it is because of our institution we are recognized by the people. So hence, a warm greeting on behalf of the Central University of Kerala And we have here a center for life skills education, and it is as a token of appreciation to the effort of our beloved Metro man, E. Sridharanji. We named this center as E. Sridharan Center for Life Skills Education. And my responsibility during this presentation, during this 1 hour, I will try to develop a conceptual framework of what the life skill is and what is the importance of life skills in everyday life as teachers, as administrators, as entrepreneurs, or as organizational leaders, and many functions. So I request for your all-hearted involvement. Please, if my memory is correct, Caesar asked to Mark Antony, lend me your sword and give me your right hand. At that time, Mark Antony says, Lord, I'm ready to give you, including my heart and soul. So in any learning process, that heart and soul are very important. So I request you your all-hearted involvement in this academic discourse. So friends, what is the significance of this disposition? You know, this is a very cute bird. And this behavior, it is nesting behavior of the bird. I request others kindly mute your mic, and when you need to raise something, you can unmute and ask questions or clarifications, whatever required. So this is the case of a bird you might have seen in your provinces, in your locality. Maya weaver bird nesting, very wonderful, very beautiful kind of nest, and it is like a dome shape with a long tree, and there is inside this nest there are two chambers, one only arranged for only breeding, and all other the domestic activities on another chamber. So such a specific and so sophisticated style of nesting behavior. And you just take the case of a honeybee, the marvelous hives constructed by the blind workers of, if you analyze the sociobiology of honeybee, you can see that these wonderful hives constructed by the blind workers of the colony. And if you observe kitten or the cute migratory behavior of salmon, a very peculiar type of fish, you can see that in every case, immediately after hatching out from the egg, or immediately after birth, after a few couple of weeks, these organisms are able to execute the behavior in a miniature form like the adult are doing. So, but what is the case of What is the case of a human being? Human being, Homo sapiens, at the time of birth, is a helpless entity. Helpless entity. The only things, only few manifestations that a human baby can execute at the time of human infant can execute at the time of birth. The major manifestation is opening and closing of the eyelashes. It is simple reflexes. So like this child, they close, the baby, the infant will close and open the eyelashes. Then another manifestation is crying. Then another manifestation with the help of mother, sucking mother's milk. Or simple reflexes are there. Then after a prolonged duration of 18 years, the prolonged childhood phase, it is because of this, the childhood period of human baby is prolonged. Then after 18 years of a prolonged childhood period, the human develops a kind of maturity in terms of cognitive, in terms of social, in terms of psychomotor, in terms of moral, in terms of another all aspects of behavior, language also. So it is through a process named education, or it is a process named, see, interaction with others, the human individual develop. So in all other species other than Homo sapiens, the young one of the honeybee, the young one of Peloseus, the young one of tiger, the young one of kitten, the young one of salmon, or any other 8.7 million species of the world, they can execute something which is in a short period after birth, as related to the relatively similar to that of the adult being. But human is a helpless entity, and it is through instinct behavior these manifestations are acquired by other species. But in the case of Homo sapiens or human being, the manifestations or the acquiring of all these skills are through a process of learning through social interaction. This learning through social interaction led the individual for a sustainable happiness. Are you comfortable with my presentation?
Absolutely, sir. We are enjoying it.
Yeah. So at any point of time, if you are not comfortable, you just unmute and tell me that, sir, please. Okay. Yeah. Cynthia, or there are a lot of emojis coming that you are enjoying. Thank you. So in all the case, conceptually, the human development is for a prolonged period of 18 years of from birth. See, at the first beginning, the lap of the mother is the first institution, then the family, then she comes at the age of 3+. The institution, the child is moved to the educational institution, and there a kind of interaction, manifold interactions with peers, with the teachers, with so many uncountable interactions. All these interactions contribute to the learning, and this learning enhance the individual to develop cognitively, then affectively, then linguistic, or social, moral, sexual, and whatnot. So this is the process of, in nutshell, in precise manner, this is the process of human development as a. So then what is the role of life skill comes? As you know, this interaction is taking place in the society. What is society? I used to describe a society as my children and your children are playing with our children. My children and your children are playing with our children. So it is a web of relationship. Society is nothing but a web of relationship. Father and mother, husband and wife, parents and children, spouse, colleagues, employee, employer, leaders, teachers, students, then all kind of social, antisocial, then neutral, all kind of positions are there in the society. So in a very precise manner, I can say that society it's a myriad of relationship, a web of relationship. So enhancing an individual who is having only the ability of crying and metamorphosis of this ability to a wonderful manifestation at the age of 18 plus. It is the function of the great process named education. But in many of the cases, it is our expectation that after a continued period of 17 years, formally, informally, and non-formally, that the individual will be able to convert into an adult being who is capable of manifesting all the kind of skills, at least in a miniature way. This is our expectation. But due to institutional bureaucracy, due to artifact, and due to various other reasons, our educational system failed to develop such kind of a comprehensive development in the among the individual concerned. So realizing this fact, and here at this juncture, the importance of the wordings of William Wordsworth, and the tree will grow as a twig is bent. So the inability, due to many factors, I don't want to make what are the factors. I don't want to make an analysis of that different factors at this juncture. But due to several factors, our educational system fails to bring about such kind of a comprehensive development in an individual. And after this comprehensive development, it is the expectation of the society that the individual will be self-reliant, Atma-nirbhar. Yeah, the individual will be self-reliant and will be beneficial for the family, will be beneficial for the society, will be beneficial for the universe as a whole. So this does not happen due to many factors. Realizing this inability, the thinkers of the world, putting their head at different platforms, they designed a mechanism called life skills. So life skills as a transformational competency, where the real system of, or the original system of education fails, life skills comes as a transformational competencies or skills to enhance what is deficient there in the formal education system. So life skill is not at all a new thing. It is there in very well. It is there in our all the classic text, Bhagavad Gita, and all the spiritual text. And we are all aware that the anecdote and the situation, the contextualization where Arjuna on seeing in the battlefield, on seeing the relatives, brothers, then all kind of relatives and colleagues or co peer groups, etc. And he was not able to fight. He was even not able to take the weapon. At that time, it is at this juncture, Lord Krishna induces Arjuna to have a kind of self-illumination, and that is why it is not because Arjuna had not learned the ways and means of using weapon, and it is not because the Arjuna had a training, formal training, but something is lacking in Arjuna, and there comes as a life skill coach the intervention of the great Guru Lord Krishna at this place. So life skills has got a philosophical, then epistemological, metaphysical, then axiological, all kind of route. Then as in the case of, so to put it briefly, the individual as a aim of life, the society as a aim of education. So the system of the social subsystem, it is called the institutional, somebody is sharing their screen. See, so the social subsystem, that education fails to develop these competencies and skills in a comprehensive manner, and therefore society itself evolved with a mechanism named life skills education or life skills. See, it is a filling gap where as a transformational competency in order to see enhance, and so enhance the individual. So life skill is nothing but learning about self and wisdom of life. It is nothing but learning about self and the wisdom of applying the abilities in the living situation so as to enhance, so as to extend one's personality to others. So if you analyze the life of great Mahatmas, great personalities, you can see that, after a point of time, so they have realized that it is through extending the personality of one's into others, a phenomenon called self-actualization takes place. So life skills enhance an individual to identify his abilities and potentialities and to extend by analyzing the mechanism of the society and how to extend to the personality into others. So as life skills as a transformational competency, WHO, World Health Organization, listed out now. It is for conveniently, for the sake of a discipline, World Health Organization has put down these as the life skills. 10 life skills: social skills, thinking skills, emotional skills. It's a broad category. And under each category, we have the communication, interpersonal relationship, empathy, problem solving, decision making, creativity, critical thinking, then coping with emotion and coping with the stress. So self-awareness is the mother skill of all the other skills. And I hope it will not be possible to discuss each and every skills even in this faculty development program, but you can have a peripheral, at least a peripheral observations on these skills, and this is a self-correction, correction mechanism, and helping others to correct themselves to develop a good personality. So I will take some of the very important aspects, why life skills are necessary, then how life skills as a concept comes to play in daily life, and what you can do. That is my now the coming 45 to 50 minutes I will dealt with that. The first, self-awareness. Self-awareness, as I told, it is the mother of every skill. Then if any kind of overlapping to what discussed in the morning come across, you can tell that this is already discussed. So that I will move to another approach. So self-awareness is observing yourself, then recognizing your feeling and building a vocabulary for the feelings, and knowing the relationship between thought, feelings, and reactions. Life skills as a concept enhance you to identify the relationship between one's thoughts, their feelings, and the reactions to others' stimuli. So if this skill is there, if you are, this is what Lord Krishna, a kind of self-awareness he could able to do. What is the duty of a Kshatriya? The ultimate truth, enhancing, facilitating the ultimate truth. That is the responsibility of a Kshatriya. So therefore, that self-awareness is not there even for our students, even for our related to our children, or our employees, or any persons. If that self-awareness is developed, the individual become more excited and contributing to the course of their life. So the first skill, life skill, which form the base of all the skill, is self-awareness. So what is self-awareness? Recognizing yourself, recognizing feelings, and building a vocabulary of developing that feeling, building a vocabulary for developing the feeling. And if that vocabulary is developed, what is taking place? You will be able to identify what are the thoughts at this time governs you. Then what are the feelings derived out of these thoughts, and how you are accommodating your feelings, how you are keeping with your feelings, how you are reacting to your feelings. That is what, and this is a very important strategy in every organization. Every organization is in the sense that individual is an organization. Jasmeet Kaur, I appreciate your response. Then this is what called in the organizational management psychology, it is called SWOT analysis. And we are all might have conducted the SWOT analysis in our institution. So when preparing for the NAC or preparing for the AICT accreditation or preparing for any other international accreditation, this exercise we might have conducted. But what is the strength? What is opportunity? What is threats? And what is weakness? Anybody can unmute and tell me what is strength? Anshul Kumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Strength
Please.
in the sense it belongs, it varies from individual to individual.
Yeah.
And strength is concerned with the skills that is inherent in the individual. That
Yeah.
could be due to the work platform or otherwise. It could be by birth.
And our
Yes.
faith, our confidence is our strength, sir.
Yeah. So I'm not giving a detailed version of all these exercise. My responsibility is to make you conceptualize what it is. So without doing any kind of things, any kind of outward exercise, without conceptualizing this concept, it is a futile activity as of my observation is concerned. So strength are, my friends, strength are the positive within the individual, the positive within the organization, and the weaknesses are the negative within the organization. Opportunities are the positives external to the organization, and challenges or threats are the negatives external to the organization. So as an individual, so we should equip our students, our children, to do this exercise in a real manner, not in a haphazard manner, identifying the positives within. And it is whether it is acquired by birth. So my professor, see, in the case of human being, that instinctive behavior is psychologically the perspectives that instinct that regulate that behavior to a very minimal level, and all the skills and competencies are in the case of Homo sapiens, it is learned. So therefore, this is what the thinkers or psychologists claim. So therefore, the strengths are the positive within, and the opportunities are the positive external to the individual concern, and weaknesses are the negatives within the individual, and threats or challenges are the negatives outside the system or outside the organization or outside the individual. So identifying or enhancing the skill of self-awareness, it is through this kind of an exercise. So this exercise, if it is done in a correct, proper manner with intellectual honesty, that will enable the individual to identify who am I, what are my potentials, where I am standing, and what I have to rectify. What then? What are the challenges I had to face, and what are the opportunities I have? How I can make use of that opportunities, like that we will be able to make a. Somebody is sharing now. Yes. So then, friends, you just take 1 minute. All of you, please take 1 minute and have a look on this diagram, this face, and draw this picture. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Yeah. Please,
Yes, sir.
please draw this in a paper. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Divya Malini, yes. Then, yeah, okay. Completed? Kirti Malik, completed? Dr. Uttam, Dr. Divya Mahan, okay. Pavan Kumar, yeah, yeah. Sonal Chowdhury, Sonia Sharma, okay, yeah. Completed. Not in a perfect manner. Yeah, just draw this picture. No need to make this in a wonderful manner. And I am moving toward my next exercise. Then please close your eyes for a minute and concentrate on yourself. Imagine your body. So imagine your face, that upper thoracic region of your our body. You just imagine for a while, for a minute. Then draw that diagram. Just imagine the upper part of one's body, then the face of one's body. Then see, after opening your eyes, you draw your image. And if that process is over, take that paper on your palm and observe how do you feel your image. Yes. Then at the end of this faculty development program of 5 days, you can share among your friends the image that you draw, by thinking yourself as a person, and what kind of a reflection you got about you. See, my appeal to all of you, we are seldom ready to make a self-analysis. A self-analysis in the sense that it is external kind of analysis plus internal kind of analysis. And we are more concentrating on external analysis rather than internal analysis. An example which Shivakara, in his very famous book, You Can Win, he used to quote the anecdote of a girl who had accompanied her father to a fair, and she could not able to, she enjoy joyfully observe these balloon sellers here and there, here and there, here and there, and see at the, and her eyes were in search of one black balloon, but she could not able to locate such a kind of a color of black balloon in any balloon sellers. Yeah. Then at the end, when she she has to back in a corner, she could able to see a black balloon. So with this rejoicement, this girl is approaching the balloon seller and asking, uncle, will this balloon fly? Will this balloon fly? Then surprisingly, the balloon seller in reply gives a reply to this girl. My daughter, Betty, it is not the color of the balloon that help the balloon to propel, but it is the gas inside the balloon that help the balloon to propel. So this is, yeah, I acknowledge Shivakara for this very important anecdote. And why I am quoting this anecdote here, we are, while making self-analysis, we are concentrating on our externalities, and we seldom concentrate on our internal features. So this internal features, analysis of the internal features. After analysis over, life skills enhance you to disclose yourself. You are disclosing. An individual is disclosing. Yeah, very cute, and it is the first time I am seeing Professor Ashish Dahiya, though I had a lot of conversation with him through telephone, and the way he is presenting and the way he is dealing with all the participants, he is motivating all, really amazing. And what he is applying here, the skill of self-disclosure. He is self-disclose. As a teacher, we have to disclose ourselves in front of the learners, our students. As a employee, we have to disclose ourselves to our employer. An employer has to disclose himself. The vice chancellor has to disclose to all the stakeholders of the university system. And like a manager has to disclose himself. And all the way this self-disclosure is very, very, very important. But we fail to disclose. It is life skill that enhance an individual to disclose. Then if that disclosure is over, here in the first slide I had, you just see, you can see in the first slide I had here I had put this in a very small font size, celebrate the self. But here, after you disclose yourself, never compromise on celebrating yourself. And my dear friends, no one can make you inferior unless and until you feel inferior. You forget about all the things which up to this time I had discussed. But I submit and appeal all of you to take care of this very important message as a takeaway of this program. See, no one can make you inferior unless and until you feel inferior. So therefore, my request, my appeal to all the participants or the academicians across the country is to celebrate yourself. Why you are doing this? At the odd time of a midnight, you are preparing for your students, you are preparing for a seminar, you are foregoing your supper, foregoing your midnight happy. Then in Kerala, now it is monsoon started and very pleasant climate, and I you know that Kerala's climate and greenery, and very, very, very nice to enjoy the sleep now. But we are foregoing our sleeps. That is the way you are self-disclosing and celebrating yourself. Mahatma, 1947, August 14, Mahatma, he has been there at Navakali, at Bengal, saying to the Hindu community who are and the Muslim community and all that communal violences, saying you stop violence, etc. But in that Delhi, you can see that the preparation for the next government and all the policies happens. So if I am asking to Mahatma, why you are doing this, it is celebrating the self. It is extending the personality. It is actualizing the personality. And the life skill that will enable you to celebrate the yourself. When celebrating the self, be empathetic. Be empathetic. We are all selfish. We are all selfish. But don't be self-centered. Be empathetic. See, when doing something for your self extension, when you are celebrating yourself with self motivation, have understand others' feelings and taking their perspectives, appreciate the differences and the way how other people are feel about the things. So that is called empathetic. So life skill in day-to-day life train you to be empathetic when you are celebrating yourself. Yeah. Then in the relationship world, with that empathetic feeling ahead, you can communicate effectively. You can communicate effectively. I think these participants are, the major chunk of the participants are higher education faculty members. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, higher education faculty members. And as a co-faculty member, as a person of only little experience in the field of teaching compared to our ancestor gurus of our country and the teachers of mine, I submit one important thing to all of us. If you grasp the essential easily and make others to grasp the things more easily than you had, you are a very good teacher. Repeat. If you grasp the things easily and make others to grasp the things more easily than you had, then you are a very good teacher, excellent teacher. So that is called communication. So you have a concept. You have a concept, a differential equation or collinear equations in mathematics. You learn that collinearity and communicating the collinearity to your your undergraduate students. So when you are communicating the things, that students should be able to understand the things more easily than you had. So this is my message to all the teachers of this FTP program. If you grasp the things easily and make others to grasp the things more easily than you had, you are a good teacher. So communicate effectively. Don't be overridden by your emotions and feeling when you are communicating. When you are communicating, be empathetic with the participants. When you are communicating as a parent, be empathetic with the children. When you are communicating as a husband, to your spouse, be empathetic. When you are communicating to your student, be empathetic. So I don't want to make, in fact, this communication itself is a session with a lot of training experiences, training strategies and techniques that you can learn. In fact, but I am conceptually, I am trying to induce you the significance of life skills in the day, in our day-to-day life. Then managing feeling. It's very important as an organizational leader So what is the task of a leader? In a big session to a large audience of engineers, I had a session. I asked that they're all different CEOs of different companies. Yeah, CEOs of different companies. Then I asked, what is your role in your organization? Yeah, so many reply, complete the task, target filling, etc. It comes. One of the replies which embarrassed me a lot. That reply is, sir, my responsibility is to make my team happy. It was a kind of applause that I had give to this answer from that CEO of the one of the very biggest organization of our country. He told me that my responsibility is to make my team happy. So to make your team happy, to make your family happy, to make your class happy, to make your institution happy, to make our nation happy, we have to recognize we have to develop a competency or skill to manage the feeling of others. Manage the feeling of others. So for managing the feelings, we have to recognize the feelings of others from the body language, from the way they are approaching you, from the way they are responding to you. All these are a very important message from which you can manage the feeling and make your team very happy. Then my takeaway to all of the CEOs who are attending this program, don't try to implement these things. See, some of the CEOs are very much concerned about the attendance of the employees, attendance of your staffs, your subordinates. See, don't give over importance. Whether you feel, try to instill a culture where your task is to make your team members happy, more happy today than yesterday, and make them more happy tomorrow than today. Yeah. Yes. So it needs a kind of insightful perception. So life skill enhance you to have an insightful perception on others' emotional life and recognize the same pattern of emotions in your life and try to understand that emotions and try to modify as and when the situation demands. And it life skills enhance conceptually you to accept the responsibility, So once you understand yourself, once you disclose yourself empathetically, and you are able to understand the feeling of others, you are, as an individual, you are capable to take the responsibility. Don't procrastinate from taking the responsibility. If we are procrastinating from taking away the responsibility, our life will be, I bark beneath the sun and I bark beneath the moon, and I have been thinking about doing something but died without doing anything. So this will be our life. So therefore, that personal responsibility and taking personal responsibility is very important. Then develop a kind of critical thinking in every context. Yeah. The critical thinking, develop a kind of critical thinking in every realm of event. Don't be negative, but it be a critical, constructive. Evaluate others' viewpoint and solve the problems constructively and go ahead with that. Sometimes life skills, sometimes dealing with these kind of myriad of situations, we need creative thinking. Creative thinking. Creative thinking means it is out of the box thinking. Out of the out of the box thinking. So sometimes we may feel it's very simple, the thinking about, and the social evolution of human being is the result of creative thinking. When Wright brothers imagined and thought about flying like birds, the aeroplane. When see that invention of a steamboat, so everything, every functional understanding of science is as the result of creative thinking. And we felt so sometimes the status quo in the organization, especially in educational institutions, we complained about our students. They are not interested, they are indisciplined, they are mischievous, but they are careless. But remember, they are not careless, but they are careless. And we fails to solve the problems because we are not able to think in a creative, divergent manner. See, divergent manner. From a single point, our thinking is moving to different angles. And this creativity that will bring about solutions for complicated, complex problems. So have creativity in the organization, creative thinking, creative way of decision making and problem solving. So life is nothing but problem facing and students are, I do endorse with your opinion, madam. Students are not careless, but they are careless. I do endorse your statement. And life is problem facing and problem solving. You know, as I was I let me recollect the informal talk with one of my relatives. So he is at abroad. He is a businessman at Middle East, and he shared me that when this first time when this COVID pandemic, it was reported from China, and the feeling they had that the toys of China will be banned in Middle East, and therefore there will be a tremendous scope for Indian toys and Indian items in the UAE market. This was a kind of way how we feel in the beginning about COVID-19 pandemic in the month of November 2019. But what about the situation now? Everything. See, I am really feeling missing. If I could able to meet our my beloved friend Professor Ashish there at the Rohtak, but it does not happen at the time being, for the time being, because man-made problems, unexpected problems in life. Then one problem is solved, the other problem will generate. So life is problem facing and problem solving. So it goes one by one like that. Yeah. You just imagine a situation. A man, while traveling to his workplace, he overheard a conspiracy of a group of terrorists destroying a dam near to his village. And he is rushing to that terrorist group, ran away to that side. See, at that time, and to report to this news to the police. But on his way back to the police station, meanwhile, he has to face another problem, that a woman is being raped by scoundrels. So this is a hypothetical situation. I respect women. I respect women. So this should not happen. That is our expectations and belief and our prayer. But it is a hypothetical situation. So let us imagine yourselves and what will be your mode of problem solving at this juncture. Any observation? Any observation?
So realistic and amazing sessions that I must say.
No.
Each one of us is listening so carefully, and you're conveying so deep meanings. I mean, अगर मैं कहूँ कि दिल चाहता है और डूब जाएं, और डूब जाएं, और डूब जाएं.
So this is one hypothetical situation. So we will prioritize. When problem solving, we will prioritize. We'll prioritize, and my intention behind this, putting this exercise here, the life is nothing but a struggle. Life is a struggle. Life is a struggle. When suppose on seeing a biology teacher, explaining this metamorphosis of a butterfly, and this biology teacher empathetically illustrate the process of metamorphosis and the struggle that this second stage is having in order to convert, in order to form to the butterfly. So it's illustrate the all kind of struggles and sufferings. At this juncture, a boy take a needle and prick the pupa. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Yeah,
It will not develop.
It will not develop. The life will be blocked. Yes, madam. I do appreciate your response. The life will be stopped. So, my friends, life is a struggle. Life is a struggle. Problem. See, so actually, at the moment, in the beginning stage, we have only the expectation that this COVID-19, this will be over within 1 year. And at the end, we used to return to our normal way of life. Then we heard that the second wave originated. Now we are foreseeing about the third wave, and we have to face all these things. That is the evolution of human life. Therefore, problem life skills which we had discussed so far will enhance an individual to face the problem and to solve the problem. So when solving the problem, that goal setting is very important. The reality check is very important. That observe the obstacles, then go ahead. We can grow forward. So goal setting, reality check, then identifying the obstacles ahead, then eliminating the obstacles, and we are going ahead. It is a case of, the step C is life skills enhancement to train you to solve the problem by defining the problem. Sir, today I am my kid, small kid, she used to tell me, Papa, today I am so tensed. So What is your problem? I don't know. So my colleagues are to, sometimes we feel very tensed. What happened to you? That I don't know. We are not able to see define the problem. So life skills train you to define your problem, to devise a strategy, to carry out the strategy and evaluate that strategy in enabling the problem which we had faced. And now there are some barriers. One is your egocentric thinking. I will not talk to him. I will not talk to him. So who is myself? I am the parent. So during my childhood days, Shahil Arora has raised a hand. If you want to talk anything, Shahil?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. See, during my childhood days, I had submitted totally to my father. Then why I am expecting the same thing from my child? So this is my egocentric. I am the head of the department. Let she comes to me as a faculty member and approach me for this. And another very important obstacle is social conditioning. Social conditioning is, so as I just illustrated, we have a kind of conditioning process to all issues that is generally happen in our life, that we have the image of the way how we approached during our childhood, during our school period, during our and we are observing the same kind of role to others. And these sometimes form as a conditioning on our thinking. This conditioning is sometimes act as a barrier to problem solving. Yeah. See, if you are not able to see, I think others are able to see the presentation screen.
Yes, sir. We are able to see
Yeah,
the screen.
yeah. See, one or two comment. I got it. Then it is because of your network issue. Then for the time being, I am not able to do for that. So it is the problem at your end. So and the third aspect is group thinking. Oh, you are ready to compromise your ego. See, you are ready to approach that lady faculty. Madam, what is your problem? Is there anything from my side I have to rectify? I have to modify my style of functioning? Then your colleague will say, no, 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 no. This is not the system in the department. There is no system, such system that head is moving to the faculty member. So that is called group thinking. At that group thinking, so you belongs to the other head of the department may act as a group, and other head of the departments will act as a group, and they will withdraw you from that kind of an approach. Then, so therefore, by taking the right decision, before taking a right decision, it is through life skills training you will be able to take the right decision at the right time, and the wrong decision at the wrong time. So sometimes you will be, while taking the decision, relax before taking a decision. Be positive and motivate yourself. We are motivating others, but we are not able to motivate ourselves. Identify the problem by taking a close look at it. List the various choices available. Then contemplate all possible solutions. Then consider the negative and positive outcome of all the solutions. Decide on what is your priority and importance to you. and then make the final decision. So this is how I see life skills contribute to decision making. Then this wheel is self-explanatory, and I will share this PowerPoint presentation with Professor Ashish, and so that the participants will get this PowerPoint presentation, and you can work it on with your situations, how all these things are applicable to me, so that you can. And when making a decision, my question is whether you are examining your actions and knowing their consequences, or knowing if thoughts and feelings are ruling a decision. Whether your actions and knowing their consequences are leading to make a decision, or your feelings are making a decision. Then in such positions, in such situations, the question is, are you a competing shark? Right? Shark are highly goal oriented. Yeah, shark do not hesitate to be aggressive to resolve conflicts. Sharks have a high need to win. For shark, there is the relationship are having only a low priority. So are you a competing shark? So the question is to me, first and foremost. So these are the positions we are making in our life structure. So therefore the question is, are you a competing shark or an avoiding turtle? An avoiding turtle. Turtle, what is the nature of turtle? Turtle always withdraws. So inward, protrude, yeah, intrude. See, turtle adopt an avoiding or withdrawing conflict management tendency. So I have a tendency to ignore the conflicting. So these are all the behavior we are having. With some or other occasion in our family, in our institution, in any other organization, in any other domain of our life, we are having this kind of a tendency. Or an accommodating teddy bear. What is the nature of a teddy bear? Teddy bear, when I am taking a teddy bear, and this teddy bear will come and sit on my lap. Yeah. When my daughter is taking the same teddy bear, she will go with her, and the daughter will put on her bed and resting near to the pillow. Yeah, it is an accommodating teddy bear. No problem. Loose win situation. Wherever you go, the teddy bear will come. The teddy will come to see at the back side of your car. And suppose you are taking from that backside, come to the front side, yeah, she will come there. So are you an accommodating teddy bear or a compromising fox? What is the tendency of a fox? What is the tendency of a fox? Fox will say, you take 50, and me also take 50. So this is very common in organization, especially in business field. Yeah, I will give you 10% of the commission to you. Okay, and what is my benefit? I will get 5% and you will get 10%, or 50-50. This is the tendency of compromising fox. And another very important, are you a collaborating owl? Owls use collaborative method to resolve the problem. So see, owls view 360-degree around the clock, 360-degree, then with nocturnal eyesight. See, when everybody is in darkness, the owls have eyesight. So life skills training with all the mother skills, then individual skills, problem solving skills enables us to develop a kind of collaborative approach in all the fights. What is this? What is this? This is tug of war. Okay, tug of war competition. What is the peculiarity of this competition? Anyone? Please unmute and share. Please, anybody unmute and share. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anybody, please unmute and respond to me.
Yes,
Give
sir, you're
response to me.
audible.
Yeah, I'm audible. So what is the peculiarity of this competition, tug of war?
Is it about teamwork?
Yeah. It is teamwork. Agreed? Yes.
So it's strategy and mindset.
Yes, strategy and mindset, madam. Absolutely correct. I do agree with you. Then,
Sir, each team tries to drag the other team.
yeah. So that is also correct, madam. I do agree with you. But what? Yeah. What about the winning team?
Display of your talent.
Yeah. Please mute. Please mute. Yeah. It's
working in one direction.
yes. Please mute. Please, all of you, please mute. Yeah. So this is the only game where the winners will move to backward. So at the back side, towards the back side, the winners will go. Okay. So there are games, there are situations in our life, always making to up may not be there in life. So we have to train ourselves sometimes to go, to move back. Then with that energy, we have to go up. Yes. So you are sometimes you are you are executing all these skills in your life, but even the best effort you are making, these are not cigarette, but these are pen. Don't feel that we are entertaining cigarette smoking. These are pens in their hands. See these sometimes all the effort we make, we have self-awareness, we have disclosure, we have coping skills, empathy, communication, decision making, problem solving, then creative thinking, critical thinking, etc., etc. See, but in spite of our effort, there will be a problem. Then in that case, we have to develop a skill or coping with stress. So how to reduce our life skills? Conceptualize that even we tried our best, there may be situation because we are dealing with many elements which are beyond our control. So therefore, obviously, there may be stress. So we have to cope up with the stress with suitable strategies like learning the value of self-exercise, physical exercise, guided imagery. That is the optimism of human nature. And especially this is very relevant in the COVID-19 pandemic stage. And we are not taking rest. We are conceiving and we are believing that within few days this will over and we have to go ahead, or else we are under the feeling that your world is over, everything finished, let us wind up and take rest. No. So guided imagery is a kind of practice that life skills train you to have an imagination of a positive consequences. All the miseries will be over, all the stress will be over. I'll be there at the very positive note. So this kind of a training to your intellect or our cognition, that will help us to copy with the stress. Then relaxation method. So if you feel to cry, you cry. If you feel to laugh when you are getting stress, yes, then if you feel to laugh, if you feel to sing, sing. If you feel to walk little bit, walk. If you feel to pray, pray. So that is individualistic in nature. You can adopt any strategy. So to conclude, I am coming to the closure of my session, friends. We are, a person is formed, see, as a result of the glory of the birth. And by birth, the society will ascribe you many things. I am a son of a central government employee. Yeah. I am a son of a teacher. I am the son of a landlord. I am a son of a poor fisherman. I am a son of a poor farmer. So I am a son of a semi-skilled, unskilled laborer. And my mother is making a lot of effort, struggle so as to make me then. And as a result of this ascription is by birth. So in tune with the ascription, the society will attribute a lot to an individual. Yeah, you are a son of that man. You are the son of this caste. Your birth is in this family. Then you are the product of this, that. Your father is a criminal. So what are you doing? So your father has murdered two persons. You are preparing for murdering for? So like this, positively or negatively, so many attributes will come to us as an individual in the society. But friends, our ascription or attribution, that will not determine you as a person, but the attitude of the individual determines what you will become as a person in your life. So life skills contribute for developing a correct positive attitude. Yeah, whatever may be the bogies, whatever may be the capacity of the engine, that will not guarantee you a safe travel unless and until the rail is perfectly okay. So life skills, the contribution of life skills to the life is, whatever may be your hard skills, how good you are in preparing, in typing, how good you are in tackling with the letter preparation, how good you are in managing the technology devices, that are all called hardware skills required for a particular career. But whatever may be that skills required, this life skills, see, help you to safeguard your skills in any domain, like the rails ensure a smooth, safe travel for a train. So my request, see, instill this a kind of a culture in our life, that life skills, it is only life skills as per the aim of our life. Life skills provide us a safe journey of our life, and we will be able to overcome all the miseries through life skills. A best perception is formed related to the life skills, then yes, we will be able to attain as per our wish of our life. And this kind of a belief and strong determinism, we should able to inculcate in ourselves and spread this message to whoever, to whom we are encountering in our life. And with this, I express my sincere Thanks to Professor Ashish Ji for inviting me for this program to have an opportunity to interact with the galaxy of academicians across the country. Thank you very much. And for life skills, any kind of collaboration, you can contact me. And we are planning a lot, and definitely we will be able to do something in this field. And this is a kind of giving a breath to others. Friends, our life is not our choice. It is a chance. And life is in between. The interval of life is in between one inhale and an exhale. So therefore, to make our life is our choice, and try to make our life beautiful and make others' life more beautiful. Then our life will be accomplished. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I must say that it has been one of the most well-attended sessions. We are so grateful to you. The day is blessed and blissful. We started with the practical aspects of life skills, and you touched upon the various dimensions of life skills covering social, thinking, and emotional skills. Indeed, it has been incredible, and you have ignited the minds. Before we go ahead, I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Divya Malhan, to say a few words, and then we proceed ahead into today's journey. Dr. Divya.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. In fact, I don't know. How can I say a few words about sir? Sir, you have been extensively elaborate and very, very comprehensive in your talk today, sir. The session has been illuminating. And I must say that all the participants have enjoyed your session, because I was seeing the comments that were coming in the chat box, the thumbs up and the claps, and everything was there in the session. And it has been very, very interactive. Such a simple language and such flowing thoughts you had, sir. I think with small examples of everyday life, from a teddy bear to a fox, and you could explain what a turtle feels. And it was like putting yourself in that situation, imagining yourself over there. Whenever you were talking about a fox, I could see, okay, there is a fox in front of my eyes, there's a teddy bear in front of my eyes. And I think this was with everybody, not only us. So, sir, it has been a wonderful, wonderful session, and we are really lucky to have you here on the session. And I didn't think so, because I must thank sometimes that the situations of the pandemic have really helped us, because people like you, who may or may not have made it possible to come here otherwise, because it would have been difficult for you to travel all along from there. But right now you are amongst us. And Mustafa, sir, you have done a great job for us, because you are there good things we may not have heard otherwise. And it was a wonderful session, sir. The small examples that you gave to make students happy, to make children happy, every line that you spoke has in fact engraved on my mind, and we'll be remembering the sessions throughout, sir. Thank you so much. And I think few of the people have got some queries. If there is a time, we can take one or two queries.
Just one or two, please.
Yes, sir. There was one query in the chat box. I thought I might read it for you. There was just a query.
Proceed.
Yes. How to condition with someone who doesn't want to communicate with you? Gitanjali Tripathi has asked this question. And this may be the case with a colleague or a child.
Colleague or your own child?
Yes, she's asked that how to condition with someone who doesn't want to communicate with you.
Yeah, see, for it is in the case of your child. For your child, I will suggest one strategy, and if it is with a colleague, I will suggest another. It is for your child. I must say it is your responsibility to break that kind of a tendency in your child and make him or her to communicate with you. There is no other means to tell you regarding that. So with your colleague, see, in spite of all the effort as a colleague you had taken, he or she is underestimating you and neglecting you. Try to avoid. Try to avoid and be stick on to a formal kind of relationship only. And if in due course of time that colleague is understanding this message and is ready to correct him or not, give a big salute and have the see all kind of communication with him or not. This is the way how the lifeboat has to ride.
Very nice answer, sir. Thank you so much. I think, Madam, you got your answer, and it has been an illuminating experience. Professor Ashish, can we request participants to switch on their videos for a clip that you always love to?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Divya. Before we bid bye-bye to Sir, time is precious. He was kind enough to join us and share his words of wisdom. I'm thankful to you, sir. You could ignite the minds and give us new direction in the journey of life skills. A small ceremony from our end. I'll request all the participants to please switch on their videos so that we can have a group photograph with Sir before we say bye-bye to him.
We can all smile. We have lovely pictures.
I'll request Arunji to kindly have some photographs from his end. So amazing, so amazing.
Ashish?
Sir,
there is
sir.
a bandwidth issue. So can you try, sir?
All right.
Yes.
All right, I'm trying from my end. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. It was an honor to have you with us. We look forward for having some more interactions with you in near future. Needless to say, we have 2 more FDPs on life skills. We would certainly look forward to seek your guidance and blessings for that. Thank you being with us. Namaskar. Stay happy and safe. Gratitude to you, sir. Now there are certain announcements for the participants who are there with us. Ladies and gentlemen, today on board we had Mr. Rajbir Deswal and Professor M.N. Mustafa Sahab from Central University of Kerala. Mr. Rajbir Deswal gave us insights about practical aspects of life skills, and Mustafa Sahab shared us the various dimensions of life skills. The 10 core life skills by WHO, including the real life examples and how to tackle them. So that has been amazing. We shall be meeting tomorrow now at 8:55 a.m. Tomorrow we have our distinguished speaker from Washington State University, US, Professor Dipraj Jha. Washington State University School of Hospitality is amongst the leading hospitality schools in the world. So we would love to listen to Professor Dipraj Jha tomorrow morning on communication and soft skills, how to stand out in organization, what brings success, effective communication in online or hybrid classrooms. Thereafter, we shall have an online cup of tea together, and we would be listening to Professor Rakesh Godwani, who is the director of School for Meaningful Experiences, and he has been a professor at IIM Bangalore and also offers various programs online through SWAM platform of Ministry of Education, Government of India. And thereafter, post-lunch session, we shall be having Mr. Alok Mittal, IPS, who is Additional Director General of Police, Haryana Now, and would be talking about digital literacy for professional life, social media skills, cybercrime and frauds, and ignite the minds with his experience in Connect to Life Skills. It was indeed amazing being with you. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. We'll meet again tomorrow. Namaskar.